Someone is waiting in the lobby. Just tell
Good
him to
morning.
good morning to you. So, guys, in the last period, I asked you for examples to that premise using the indicators. So, Kazim was telling us a sentence of his about premises using indicators.
I drank medicine since I was sick.
That's great. Use since in here as an indicator, and you've got a decision based on uh, a background. So that who else can use one of the indicators to give us a premise? It's not that difficult question, guys. It's just you're going to use one of these linkers in a sentence. When you use it, simply you're going to make a premise because using these indicators gives you a premise. So,
Mister, I
yes,
can say
great. Go
uh,
ahead.
he is ready for the test.
Okay. It's really for the test. You didn't use any indicators up till now or any
Four,
decision.
Mister.
For the test,
Four,
ah,
yes.
for in here in your sentence is a preposition. It's not a linker. Use for as a linker.
I have a sentence again.
Okay. Yes, go ahead.
I signed into college for the fact that I want to study chemical engineering as a career.
Yeah, once again, because I missed your indicator in here. So please repeat it.
Okay. I
Yeah,
signed into college for the
yes.
fact that I want to study chemical engineering as a career.
Yeah,
For the
wonderful. Yes, for the fact. Thank you. Um, well, um, I didn't visit Ali today as I was busy. So in here, my decision is I'm not going to visit Ali, and I use the indicator as to give us the background of this decision. Why I took this decision? Because I'm busy simply. So here I used as an indicator and a premise, which is the reason for the logic reason for the decision. The logic reason here for not to visit Ali is that I'm busy. So that's it.
Mister, I have a sentence.
Yes, great. Go ahead.
I am sad because of the exams.
Yes, because of that. But actually, just a sentence. I want a decision. You know that matter of cause and fact, cause and effect. Sorry,
Yes.
it's that. It's that one. A cause that something that caused something else. So it goes like this: cause and fact, cause and effect. Sorry, I didn't go to school because I was ill. I'm not going to school. This is my decision. I'm not going to school because I'm sick. See the difference? The first one, I have no decision, but the second one, I have a decision. And my decision have a background. Why did I take this decision? Because of blah, 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 blah. Mustafa, you understand?
Yes, Mister. Understood.
Good. If so, give me an example of yours.
Mister, what example do you want again? I couldn't hear you.
Yes, you're going to use one of these indicators to make a premise. I may help you somehow. You may say a sentence like that. I will travel to America. Complete the sentence using indicator making a premise. I will travel to America. This is your decision. Why? What for? Complete the sentence,
Sir,
please.
can you show me the page with the indicators?
The page. Hello?
Yes, Mr. I mean the PowerPoint presentation with all the indicators. Can you show it to me?
Certainly. That. Since for because in as much as suppose that it follows from for the reason that in view of this is implied by given that it follows from due to.
Mister, you said the first part that I'm traveling to America, right?
Yeah, this is the first part of the sentence. I will
Okay.
travel to America. This is your decision. Yes.
The second part, due to college.
Due to join the university. Yes, that's great.
Yeah.
Good. So your decision. We know very well now that you took this decision for something, for reasonable action, which is to join the university there. Thank you. How about the other guys? Ahmed Hussein, where are you? Ahmed, you there?
Yes, Mr. Me?
Who's that?
I'm Ahmed.
Ahmed Hussein?
No, أنا ببيدة.
Yeah, I'm calling Ahmed Hussein. Are you there, Ahmed? Majid Nassar, are you there?
Yes, Mr.
Yeah, great. Will you give me an example of premise, Ahmed, using one
Majid.
of the indicators?
Since
Sorry, Majid?
since I studied hard, I got a full
Yeah.
mark in the exam.
Well, actually, this is a sentence, and you use tense in here as a linker, okay? But your decision is not clear in here. When I'm talking about premises, there should be a decision. For example, I'm not going to school today, and this is my decision. As or since it's raining. So what makes my decision is that it's raining. Majid, do you understand?
Yes, yes.
Okay, once again, give me an example.
I'd like to go to college because my father. Wait, I'd like to go to study physics in college because my father is a doctor in physics, has a doctorate in physics.
Yeah, so your decision is to study science because your father is has a major in this career. Okay, so you took a decision and you gave us the reasonable reason for this decision. That's right. Thank you. Who else, guys? You can give us an example of premise using one of the indicators. Muhammad Salim, you're there?
I'm there, but I can't see the share. I see a black screen.
It's what?
I'm there, but I can't see the share. You share it. I see black screen.
Can you give us an example, Muhammad
About
Salim? Yeah, about premise. a decision you have taken, and this decision has a background, and use one of our indicators.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Like I didn't go to the wrong place because I was busy.
Your voice actually is not clear. I don't yeah, I don't understand that. Can you write it down in the chat?
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
We
Mister, I
chose
have a
last
question.
time.
It's what?
We chose last time.
You wrote it down?
I will write now. It's
Yes,
I
please
write.
go ahead. Go ahead.
So it is. Comment I'm writing.
So it's my turn. Yes, it's your turn, Muhammad. Go ahead, giving us a decision of yours, the reason of this decision, using an indicator. So it's my turn to choose. Yes. Yeah. He chose last time, so it's my turn to choose. Uh, yeah, right. You explained the rule actually. So can you give us an example for that? As I told you, I'm not going to school today as it's raining. So in here, I took a decision not to go to school, and my reason is it's raining. So it goes like this, Muhammad Salim. You understand me? So go ahead. Don't forget that we need a decision and the reason for this decision. Muhammad Sabri, be ready. You're going to be asked to give us an example.
Mister, I have a question.
Yeah, what's it?
Mister, when is the sentence premise?
Revise.
Uh,
Mhm. What's that? What's that revise?
not premise, Mister. Premise.
Premise? Yeah, I'm telling you that when you have a decision and you've got a background for this decision, why did the one who took this decision made his decision like that? The reason for that decision. When you reach this point, decision, and the logic reason for that decision, so you got a premise. Okay,
Okay, Mister. Thank you.
most welcome. So Muhammad Salim, if you don't understand, please let me know. Muhammad Sabri, you're there? Okay, Muhammad Salim, you've wrote down. It's my turn to choose. No, I got it. A decision like that, I'll do something, I will not do something. It's a decision. Like what Majid Nassar said, I'll join the physics major in the university as my father has the same major. So he decided to join a major in the university. Why did this major especially? He said that his father has the same major, so that's why. Where's Muhammad Sabri? Ahmed Abu Ubaida? Ahmed, hello.
Yes, mister.
Give us an example, Ahmed. And Abdulaziz Qahtani, be ready.
Can you show me the words
Yeah,
as I would use?
the verse once again, okay. Here we go. Ahmed,
Yes,
will you
mister.
be in a hurry, please? Because we are our time is running out. So please hurry up.
Okay. Next year I will not be in the school since I will travel.
Yeah, you used sense in here, but where's the decision? You took a decision to travel. Your decision
Yeah.
should be obvious, Ahmed. Okay, if you decided to travel and giving us the reason, that's okay. Abdullah Mana. Abdullah, you're there?
Yes, Mr. Amin.
Okay. Will you give us an example to a premise?
Since coronavirus is here, I will not go outside.
So your decision is not to go outside because of coronavirus.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Okay. Alauddin Hussein al-Bashir. Ala, are you there?
Yes, mister.
So Ala, please in a hurry give us an example.
I really don't understand the lesson.
You didn't understand. Simply, you are taking a decision, and this decision has a reason. When you have this decision based on reason, you've got a premise. So that's all. This is what we are talking about since two periods. So give me an example of a decision you take
I am
according to
playing.
a reason. Yes.
I am playing game to have a muscle.
You are thinking of what?
I am playing game to have a muscle.
I don't know what's that.
I will send it in chat.
Okay. I'm playing gym to have muscles. Yeah, wonderful. Thank you, Ala. Here, you're
Hello.
You're there? Hello?
Yes, yes.
Yes,
Oh,
Mr.
great. Hi again. Sorry for the internet disconnection.
No problem.
I made a complaint actually to the STC and the school administration, made 3 complaints for that discrepancy. So they promised from the beginning of the next week, inshallah, the internet connection is going to be in a good way. It's going to be better than this. So forgive us this week, inshallah, from next week on, it's going to be wonderful. So premise indicators are very helpful. You see one of them in the sentence, you know that this is 90% a premise. As with conclusion indicators, though, you must use them cautiously because they have other functions. As I told you before, we can use them. For example, the indicator 4 could be used for something else rather than being a premise. You can use them as prepositions. Another example, since can indicate a premise, and it can merely indicate time. For example, I live in Riyadh since 2016, for example. So here, since is just an indicator to the time. It doesn't give us any indicator to our premise. So take care of these indicators. Example, since the incumbent's views are out of step with public opinion, he probably will not be re-elected. Here, in this sentence, since is used to flag the premise that the incumbent's position are unpopular. Contrast this use of. Well, another example, since the incumbent was elected to office, he has spent less and less time with his family. In this case, since merely express a temporal relationship. So since in here, it's not an indicator for a premise, just like the first example. In this example, since is used as what? It's just expressing the relationship. The statement as a whole expresses an observation rather than an argument. A premise is a statement in an argument that provides reason or support for the conclusion. This is how to sum up this matter. A premise is a statement in an argument that provides reasons or support for the conclusion. Here, I don't mean a conclusion 100% for being the last paragraph. It's in the same sentence. I have a conclusion or a decision by the end of that sentence. So in here, the premise is what's behind that decision or that conclusion. There can be one or many premises in a single argument. More than a premise, a paragraph is accepted. A conclusion is a statement in an argument that indicates of what the arguer is trying to convince the reader or the listener. We've got something called the suppressed premises. Suppressed premises actually, we got it in a part of an argument that's missing is a premise. We can call that statement a suppressed premise. It depends on one or more unstated premises. Sometimes this indicates a weakness in the argument and oversight by the writer. More often, however, certain premises are left because they are too numerous. Or the writer assumes that his audience is aware of the assumptions. He wants the audience to fill in the premise themselves, therefore, be more likely to believe the conclusion. Forget about this blah 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 blah, and let's read the example. Conclusion: I knew he did it. Premise: only a guilty person would accept immunity from prosecution. The first premise is that he did, in fact, accept immunity. Speaker assumes that his audience is aware of his fact, or at least is willing to believe it. So it states that it would be redundant and ponderous. Well, this part actually is not the part I mean to end up with. Yes. Read this passage, please. Kazim, you there? Kazim.
Okay. American studies tend to rather be insular, but there is much we can learn from other countries. In Japan, for example, workers set aside some time each day to exercise, and many of the corporations provide elaborate exercise facilities for their employees. Few American corporations have such exercise programs. Studies have shown that a Japanese worker is more productive and healthier than the American worker. Must be concluded that the productivity of American workers will lag behind their Japanese counterparts until mandatory exercise programs are introduced.
Yes, great. So here we are comparing, or this is an argument between the Americans and the Japanese. We are comparing and contrasting workers here and workers there. So the question is, the argument presented in the passage depends on the assumption that A, even if exercise programs do not increase productivity, they will improve the American workers' health. B, the productivity of all workers can be increased by exercise. C, exercise is an essential factor in the Japanese workers' superior productivity. D, American workers can adapt to the longer Japanese work week. So what do you think?
Mr. Can you go up? I want to read the passage again.
Certainly.
Okay, Mr. Go down.
The argument presented in the passage depends on the assumption that even if exercise programs do not increase productivity, they will improve the American workers' health. B, the productivity of all workers can be increased by exercise. C, exercise is an essential factor in the Japanese workers' superior productivity. D, American workers can adapt to longer Japanese work week.
I think A, Mr.
Even if exercise programs do not increase productivity, they will improve the American workers' health. Well, in the passage, actually, he said that the exercise increased the productivity. So the first part of this sentence is the opposite. So it's not that exercise programs do increase, not don't. No, it's not A. He said this in Japan, the exercise programs increase productivity. So forget about A. So still have B, C, and D. What do you think?
B.
B, well, the productivity of workers can be increased by exercise. I guess this is. I don't think that this happened in America. This happened in Japan, but I'm not sure of America. I don't
It's
think
B.
so.
It's B.
B.
Yes, because it's talking about facts. Because it's it for example in Japan. They want to
Yeah.
tell us that workers or workers
Is
in
it
general.
in America? I don't think this happened in America. In Japan, yes, but in America, no.
Yes.
So simply read this or choice. Exercise is an essential factor in the Japanese worker's superior productivity. This is accepted. It's mentioned in the text that the Japanese workers' superior productivity is based on. It's actually the premise because of what? Because of the exercise. Guys, we are talking about premise here once again. Don't forget that Japanese workers' superior productivity more than their peers in the United States. The reason is the logic reason is the exercise programs. So what gave us this conclusion that Japanese workers' superior productivity is more than their peers in America is the exercise. So the conclusion is based on something else. Something gives us the reason why this conclusion happened or occurred. Got it, guys?
Yes.
Wonderful. So that's okay for now, actually, because our time is up. So that's why we've got another classroom. Before we end up, I want to ask you about a conclusion to what we had said today. What we have said today is the premise topic. Someone may tell me, what is premise? What does this term mean? In just 1 minute.
It is the reason of a conclusion.
That's right. It's how an outcome was decided or how to get a conclusion. That's right. Thank you so much. Have you got any question, guys?
No, no question.
No questions.
No questions.
Okay. See you next Sunday. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
Have a nice weekend, mister.
Thank you. You too.